On a calm morning, traffic on an open road flowed normally as a truck driver slowed down and pulled over near the roadside. A speeding motorcycle appeared in the distance. The rider, moving at high speed, couldn't react in time and made contact with the side of the truck. But what happened next was something no one expected. Instead of falling, the motorcyclist ended up landing perfectly on the truck's flatbed. For a moment, it looked like a well-timed stunt. The truck driver appeared completely surprised, realizing someone had suddenly joined him from behind. Thankfully, the rider wasn't hurt, and what could have been a serious situation turned into a rare, unbelievable moment caught on camera. While this story had a lucky ending, it serves as a reminder that road safety depends on awareness, proper speed control, and giving every vehicle enough space to maneuver safely. On July 1, 2024, during a routine exercise in Campeche, Mexico, naval cadets from the Heroica Escuela Naval Militar were conducting parachute training jumps. Among them was Emmanuel Velázquez Escobar, a second-year cadet participating in his basic paratrooper training course, a key milestone in his goal to serve the Mexican Navy. One by one, cadets exited the aircraft and began their descent. However, when Emmanuel made his jump, his parachute system did not deploy as expected. Instructors and ground crews immediately initiated emergency response protocols, but despite rapid efforts, the young cadet could not be revived. This heartbreaking event highlights the need for rigorous inspection, maintenance, and redundancy in all parachuting and aviation-related activities. Every component from harness stitching to release mechanisms must undergo multiple checks before flight. Instructors must also ensure that trainees understand emergency procedures, such as reserve parachute deployment and communication protocols. Modern safety training now emphasizes layered protection, verified packing by certified riggers, continuous supervision during jumps, and routine replacement of aging equipment. By reinforcing these safeguards, future cadets can continue to train with confidence, knowing that every possible precaution has been taken to protect their lives. On a road, a heavy truck traveling at high speed skidded across its lane and collided with a car moving in the opposite direction. The impact left the smaller vehicle severely damaged. This heartbreaking incident is a reminder that speed management and vehicle maintenance are critical for everyone on the road. Trucks, because of their weight and momentum, require much longer stopping distances, and even a small mistake can have major consequences. At a small airfield in the U.S. state of Panama, a helicopter parked on the ground suddenly started to rotate rapidly on its own. The aircraft's engine and rotor system had somehow engaged, causing it to spin uncontrollably. In the footage, the pilot can be seen standing near the door, trying to stop the movement manually. A woman had just stepped out of the helicopter moments before the rotation began, and she quickly moved away to safety. The pilot made several brave attempts to regain control, and after managing to climb inside the cockpit, he successfully shut down the system, bringing the situation under control before it could escalate further. This incident serves as a powerful reminder of how crucial pre-flight and post-flight safety checks are. Pilots and ground crews should always ensure that all control systems, parking mechanisms, and power switches are fully secured before leaving the aircraft unattended. Quick thinking and proper emergency procedures can make the difference between a close call and a serious disaster. In Southern California, a 21-year-old man of Indian origin, identified as Jashanpreet Singh, was arrested after his 18-wheeler truck crashed into slow-moving traffic on Interstate 10 in San Bernardino County. Dashcam footage reportedly showed the semi-truck never braked before the impact. Toxicology tests indicated Singh was under the influence at the time. In addition, authorities say Singh had entered the United States illegally in 2022 and was posing questions about commercial driver licensing for non-citizens. This tragic event underscores multiple layers of safety. First, the importance of full sobriety when operating heavy commercial vehicles like an 18-wheeler. Second, the critical need for rigorous driver qualification and licensing standards, especially when transporting high-risk loads on major interstates. Third, employers and regulatory agencies must ensure that vehicles are maintained, drivers are trained, and monitoring systems are in place to detect impairment or fatigue. By combining strict licensing protocols, frequent training, sobriety verification, and clear operating procedures for commercial truck drivers, the industry can reduce the risk of similar incidents occurring. At a city intersection, vehicles were waiting as the traffic light turned red. A motorcyclist began crossing the road on a green signal when, from the opposite side, a police patrol vehicle suddenly entered the junction running the red light. The motorcyclist had no time to react, and the two vehicles made contact, causing the rider to lose balance momentarily. Fortunately, the rider escaped safely. What drew public attention was that the patrol car appeared to continue driving without immediately stopping. This event highlights the importance of accountability and awareness on the road, regardless of who's behind the wheel. Traffic laws exist to protect everyone, and even trained drivers must follow them at all times. Emergency vehicles are permitted to pass signals only during active response with sirens and lights engaged and with due caution. For other drivers and riders, this is a reminder to always stay alert at intersections, even when the light is green. Inside an automotive repair workshop, a car was undergoing maintenance when it suddenly began rolling forward on its own. The vehicle, which appeared to be left in neutral, started to move slowly across the floor. Acting on instinct, one of the workers rushed to stop it by stepping in front of the car and trying to push it back with his hands. However, before he could react fully, the vehicle made contact with him against another parked car. Within moments, nearby workers noticed what happened and quickly came to help. Working together, they managed to move the rolling car backward, freeing their co-worker and preventing a more serious accident. This incident is a strong reminder of why vehicle stabilization is critical during maintenance. Mechanics and technicians should always ensure the parking brake is firmly applied and wheel chocks are placed under the tires before starting any work. Automatic and manual transmission vehicles should both be secured against unintended movement. Workshops should also enforce clear safety zones, ensuring no one stands directly in front of or behind a vehicle that's not fully immobilized. Quick teamwork helped avoid major harm here, but prevention through proper safety checks is always the best defense. On the evening of August 26, 2025, operations were underway at the Fafamo Bridge site in Prayagraj. A trailer truck was transporting a massive bridge girder, part of a 6-lane, 9.9-kilometer bridge project being built parallel to the existing structure over the Ganga. During the transfer process, the trailer reportedly lost balance, causing the enormous prefabricated segment and possibly parts of the trailer or a supporting crane to tip and fall into the river below. Footage recorded by workers and bystanders shows the moment the structure began to tilt, followed by people rushing away from the area as the girder splashed into the water. Fortunately, no injuries or fatalities were reported. Local authorities and the construction company quickly began an investigation to determine what went wrong. One worker suggested that strong wind pressure or a balance issue during the lifting phase might have triggered the accident. The bridge project, valued at approximately $219,000, has faced logistical challenges from the start. Components are built off-site, transported via river, and then loaded onto trailers for final positioning. A process that requires careful synchronization of cranes, transport equipment, and stabilizing supports. This incident serves as a crucial reminder of the importance of load stability and environmental awareness during heavy lifting operations. When handling oversized prefabricated structures, even small shifts in weight or wind pressure can cause a dangerous imbalance. Around midday on July 20th, 2024, a worker identified as Josue Leonardo Name Loyaga was assisting with vehicle movement at one of Soltrak's facilities in Peru. His task was to open the main gate to allow a cargo truck to enter the premises. As he noticed some overhead cables that could interfere with the vehicle, he signaled to the driver to proceed cautiously. However, while the truck was still in motion, an unexpected movement caused the worker's arm to make contact with the gate and the side of the truck. Co-workers immediately noticed the incident and rushed to help. This unfortunate incident highlights how easily coordination gaps between ground staff and heavy vehicles can lead to severe workplace accidents. In industrial and logistics environments, where large machinery and moving equipment operate in close proximity to workers, even a moment of distraction or unclear communication can have serious consequences. Before any vehicle begins to move within a restricted area, clear communication between the operator and the ground personnel is essential. Drivers should only proceed once they've received a confirmed visual or radio signal from the ground worker, ensuring that all individuals are in safe positions and that the pathway is clear. At a newly constructed road section, crews were finishing surface compaction using a heavy road roller, also known as a steamroller. The operator was moving steadily forward, smoothing the fresh asphalt, while a ground worker walked just ahead, guiding the progress and checking the evenness of the surface. Everything seemed normal for several minutes until the worker unknowingly stepped into the machine's blind spot. The large roller, with its limited forward visibility, continued to move slowly, and before the operator could realize, the machine made contact with the worker in front. Nearby crew members reacted immediately, shouting to stop the roller. This incident highlights the critical importance of clear communication, visibility aids, and defined safety zones during road construction. Heavy equipment like rollers, pavers, and compactors have significant blind spots, especially directly in front and behind the machine. Workers should never walk within these areas unless they are in direct radio or hand signal contact with the operator. Companies can further reduce risk by implementing spotters, rear and front-mounted cameras, and proximity alarms that alert operators when someone enters a danger zone. Regular safety briefings, high-visibility vests, and strict adherence to safe distance protocols ensure that every worker remains seen and protected. When construction teams combine awareness with communication, they not only build safer roads, they build safer work sites for everyone involved.